Hello, hello. It's me, Normal Cory. All right, let's check this out. All right, everybody. It's me, Normal Cory, here in Seattle, Washington. And let's go to this zone right here. All right, everybody. So I'm here. I got my trusty MPC. And right here we have me with my MPC. And here we have me. So this is essentially a test. I've been attempting to live stream all summer, and the thing that has been difficult for me has been my internet connection. So I live in a pretty old building, and I upgraded my internet. We're also running an Ethernet cable. So we're going to do this live stream, and we'll see at the end, when all's said and done, if this works. It'll be a nice little test. But hi, I'm Normal Cory. I'm here in Seattle, Washington, and I make electronic music. And I use my MPC Live right here with me. That's my main beat-making device of choice. I also have an MPC X. I also have an Octatrack. But the thing that I'm making beats with every day is my MPC Live. And a reason why I wanted to live stream is that, you know, I make music on this thing every single day. And I was like, I'm already making it every day. Why not live stream it? Now, what I've learned about live streaming is that there's a lot of complexities to that. And maybe I could have a video devoted purely to live streaming. But today, I just wanted to run a little test to see. I have my microphone and I have my MPC. So I thought I would test the audio and I would test the stream. Oh my gosh. See, this is all happening live. This is all happening live. The camera fell. That's okay. Let's get it even. Here's what I've noticed in my time trying to live stream and make videos on YouTube, that I would say, oh my gosh, this looks terrible. This is why I've been kind of scared and embarrassed to live stream, but this is all part of the process. So let's go here. That looks good to me. I would say the number one thing I'm spending my time on is just trying to get my setup correct. Trying to get the right angles. But yeah, this isn't a stream about live streaming. This is a stream about hype synthesizer. So I recently made a video where I was out about in the world and I made a beat and I talked about my top 5 favorite synthesizers on the MPC standalone software. So whenever I was doing that, I realized that I actually made some mistakes. And one thing that I realized, so hype is actually my favorite synthesizer on the MPC for several reasons. I would say it's my biggest workhorse and synthesizer that I've been using for a long time. So here's what we're gonna do real quick. I think this should work. Let's do a new screen. And before I just talk about things and I don't really know what I'm saying, I'm gonna Google hype synth and we're gonna look up a description of it, because whenever I was talking about it, I realized that I did not give the hype synth justice. Okay, let's see if this works. Fingers crossed. Okay, that doesn't seem to work. Let's try this out. Okay, so Safari. Let's go here. Okay, there we go. So we got me, and we also have this thing about hype synth. So if you already see right here by the label, the hype synth is kind of like a vaporwave synthesizer. Let's see, this should scroll through. Yeah, it's talking about the hype synth. You got the interface here, which is really pretty. We're gonna go over it. But this is what I got wrong whenever I was talking about it. So the hype synth, it's not analog or it's not FM. The Hype Synth is a hybrid of 4 different sound engines. You have FM, wavetable, virtual analog, and sample. So let me go back to OBS, and let's just go back to me. So when it comes to Hype Synth, it just has all the different types of synthesizers that there are, and they're kind of combined together in a really cool little interface. So I think it's pretty cool and it's pretty modern. Now, what Hype Synth is really known for is its presets. It has a lot of presets, but I also like its sound design functionality. So I think the best thing to do for this, because it's already 10:22, took me a while to set up this audio, kept dropping my camera, I even did it again here, but let's go ahead and let's make this video. Let me go back. It's weird because I don't know how to really check if anybody's watching or not. And it's not super important to me if there is anybody, but if you have any comments or anything like that, I might not be answering them because this is what I would describe as, fingers crossed, my first successful live stream. So, as we have the computer here, let's go here to me with the MPC. I also like the thing about live stream is I'm kind of editing as I go, which is cool, but also adds some difficult things. Okay, something just happened with the audio. Let's keep it going though. Let's keep it going. So, I already have Hype Synth loaded up here. The great thing about the MPC standalone, right now we're running on lithium ion power. I'm here at home because I got this nice internet connection that I worked hard to get, but I can go make beats anywhere. I might not be able to live stream anywhere yet, but maybe here in the future I will be. But that being said, I can make beats anywhere with this MPC, and you get up to 8 VST plugins, so you have 8 instances of Hype or whatever synthesizer that you want to use. And the great thing about Hype is just that it's very powerful. It's an incredibly powerful synthesizer. Let's actually get closer so we can see the interface a little bit better. I do want you to see the keys as I play them, but I actually want the Hype Synth to be showing up here as we start to play it a little bit more. So let's rotate that. Again, I'm always messing with the angles. You also have these 8 encoders here, and those are going to be really important. You can switch through. You get 16 encoders essentially with that. So we're already in Hype. This is called Almighty, and it's the default preset that comes with it. But let's switch it up. Let's go in. If you look here, we're looking at the presets of all of this amazing synthesizer, and if we just go scrolling through, there are a lot of different choices that we have. A lot of different things to be played. So what I'm gonna do, let's make sure my sound's off. I don't want to keep my neighbors up. So let's go in. Sounds pretty cool to me. All right, so let's go in here, and I'm gonna go back in. I like this noise. It's kind of weird having a computer in front of me because I'm normally just making beats on my own without a computer. One thing about the computer, one thing I like about hardware is it sort of takes you out of that virtual computer world. There is a screen on here, but it's very hands-on. So I'm kind of tripping out right now as I'm making this music. Totally sober, tripping out on the technology. YouTube, please don't don't show this to anybody. One time I used a curse word in a YouTube video and didn't show it to anybody. So I'm trying to do better to use good language. So when I say trip, I mean sober tripping on the technology screens. Let's go here. Let's turn the metronome to on. We have a count in for record and play. And let's just record a little something in and see what we get. That sounds pretty good, but let's go through and let's pick other noises. Okay, so that might be a little bit boring to you. That's fine. But so that sounds cool. We're going to go over the effects of everything, but I'm going to add a little drum beat in just so it's a little bit more exciting. So let's do a new track. We're going to do a drum. Let's go back. Let's pick a drum that I've used recently. Let's just type in drum. I know there's a lot of sounds that come in it, but I screwed it up and I deleted all the drum samples off the MPC because I was trying to be original and save space. But that was a mistake I made a long time ago that I've been trying to fix, but I have my MPCX, so I'll choose the drums on there, and then I tend to, whenever I'm on the road, I have drums that I already like. We're doing this live, and I'm talking about things that are kind of embarrassing. I am trying to sell classes about becoming more professional, but I'm also just constantly learning on this thing. So, you know, trying to make videos, trying to sell classes, it kind of makes me realize how much more I have to learn. That's sort of embarrassing, but it's true. Okay, so now let's record these drums in. So that sounds a little off, that's okay. Let's go into the arrangement. One thing I gotta do is I gotta talk about what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm just making beats and I realize I make a video and I'm like, oh, Cory, you actually didn't talk about what you did at all. So turn the overdub off. We've selected the two ones that are off. You can see it. Let's just nudge them over. So let's go here and let's turn a little bit of swing on here. Do it. Now, I think that's a really basic beginning of a beat. Sometimes you can tell things are off and they sound good. Sometimes they're off and they sound really bad. So we're going in, we're just fixing my mistakes from earlier. But again, sometimes, you know, I just went to a show, Mod Bang, here in Seattle, and there's a lot of polyrhythms and really crazy noises, and that just made me really, really happy. So let's go here. Let's see, is this stream even working? Is anybody even watching me? It's okay. It's okay, that's fine. We're doing this all live. We're doing it live. So let's go here. So we have a really nice beginning, but I want to make things a little bit more exciting. So if you go here, you press menu, track edit. No, that's not right. I need to go back to the first track, the hype synth. Let's go to track edit. Wow, what a beautiful interface. I will honestly say my favorite interface on the MPC is hype. It's really, really pretty. It's really, really gorgeous. So I'm not sure how clearly you can see. I'm gonna get better at getting these angles and everything. But if you look here, we have our different engines and everything. Right here we got 2 engines, and you can like, let's play and we'll just play and we'll go over it. So this mixes the things. Let's try a different synth that might. So I don't know what really that is, but it's mixing the oscillators. All I know is it sounds really cool. You have oscillator 1, oscillator 2. You can change what the oscillator is. You have the different format, you have the different attack. It's all really, really cool and great. I think it was like right here at the beginning. But if you go over here to these knobs, Air, I think it comes with, I believe it's Pro Tools, but Air is a really great company that has a lot of effects that come with it. So there's a lot of really cool effects built in. If you're just a beginner, this page is all that you really need. And if you're just playing around, it gives you more than enough to have really cool effects. So we're going to start out just doing that, right? So cut off. It's really important. Resonance. Some sort of modulation. Distortion. Let's scoot over. Delay. Pumper. And then you have volume. So it's great when you have all these things because these are effects that you might not want to be going through and using your computing power to use these effects, right? So what I'm going to show you now on a really micro level, we're only at 4 bars, but if I press this button right here in the corner, the green button, I think if you press, let's see, Shift, Step Sequencer, yeah, Shift Step Sequencer right there will also do the same thing. See, it's turning red and green. But yeah, we want this to be red. So let's go back in here and let's change some of these things and then see what happens. So you see, even on this micro scale, it's already changing some of the effects. So let's do a little bit of reverb. I think that's enough for now. Make sure to turn the automation off, but we've added a cool little bit of variation to the beginning of our track. We've had a melody, but there's already something crazy going on with this very basic preset. So let's add a new track. Let's go here. We're gonna do plug in. Let's go back to hype. I have Sub Factory as my first synthesizer because I like doing bass at first, but I really do like hype. So we have all these, we have bass warm, bass sub, bass summer. It's summer, summer's coming to an end. I say let's just pick summer. And let's just go through and I just hear the preset that sounds good to me. Let's go down an octave. I didn't even think about it. Everything's in C major. That's chill. We're making a beat in C major now. So I'm going to go into the FX here, we're going to go to Dynamics, and we're going to pick Mother Ducker. So let's go back to the drum, click on this center button right here, and we're going to go to Effects. Mother Ducker's already on there. You hear that whenever the sidechain compressor comes in, it puts the compressor on the hype bass. So let's go here to Mother Ducker. You see the little duckies bouncing like that. So let's go to threshold. Let's go up. Let's turn the gain up a little bit. So let's go here. Let's go to menu. Let's go back to track edit. And let's just affect this bass and see what happens. So I think this would be a cool thing to affect. But let's turn the bend up to 14. I think that makes sense just to keep it steady. Let's try resonance. Distortion. So let's press shift, step sequencer. Now we know that we have our automation on. Let's try the resonance. So that's cool. We almost have a sort of dubsteppy bass there. But if I'm making new music, sometimes I get a little scared because it's like, that's cool, Cory. You did that. You turned the green button on the automation. But like, what the heck am I supposed to do if I screw up? That's fine. You screwed up. Go to the top right. We go to this little pencil tool. And then we go to erase. But we're not going to do all because that would delete all your MIDI notes. We're only going to delete the automation. And we could go down to where we could just delete aspects of it, which I think I'm going to do because I think the only thing that sounded like it was too much, I think that the cutoff sounded like it was too much. So let's say do it and let's listen. And now that we don't have it on, let's turn the cutoff off. So that actually sounds pretty cool to me. So I like all those other changes, but you can delete specific changes. You could also delete all of the automation off of that trick, which would make things a lot easier for you. So let's go in, let's add a new sound. We already got a bass. We already got our lead. So that's cool. We're cooking with fire here and we're making a beat pretty quick. So let's go back to hype again. And this time we're in C major, but let's do a chord. And since we have a chord, let's go in and let's do a piano. I think one place that hype really shines is that I really like the sounds of the pianos. There's a wide variety and a lot of them sound really realistic. Pianos are one of those things that you would think more synthesizers would be good at because piano is so common, but often they're not. So let's pick summer again because it's summer. Let's do the overdub. And now let's double the length to 8 bars. This is a good way of just, you know, like if you're wondering, how do I take a loop and turn it into a song? I would just say, as you're getting an idea, just like slowly making it longer and longer. And there's also ways for you to compose full songs. I'll do live streams on that too. Tonight I really want to focus on hype. I probably don't have that much longer either. But I'm just having so much fun making music. So, sounds good. Okay, let's record it. So let's go ahead and record the mother ducker on there too. Mother Leatherducker normally sounds pretty good on piano, but you might have to let it up the threshold a little bit. That I can't explain enough how much that sidechain compression gives to that modern dance music feeling. Okay, so let's go in here, back to the track edit. Let's go to setup. See, this is things are a little bit more complex here. We have our effects, we have the compressor, threshold, pre-delay. So you also have a EQ here, distortion. So all these things that we had up front, you can control them. So it's really cool. This first page can then be controlled the level. So you basically have the macros. So let's go here. So this is what I think will sound cool. So let's do shift, step sequencer. So now we know I have my automation on. Let's do play start. Oh, very cool. So now I turn the automation off and let's just play around a little bit more. That sounds cool, but I think that should be used later for like building the beat, you know? So let's go to this delay. Okay, let's record this in. I think this sounds cool actually. I like just like wiggling the knobs rhythmically and see what comes. Everybody, come on. Let's keep it dancing. Let's keep it real. We're going live. We're live streaming live right now on YouTube, baby. Thank you all so much for checking in. Okay, so that sounds pretty good to me so far. So I think this is a pretty good comprehensive look at hype. I think what I could do now is, you know, extend it even more to 16 bars. And then we could go in and we could, let's go in and let's name this. Let's call this verse A. Let's do it. And then let's go in and let's copy the sequence and let's call this chorus A. So as we would go through the song, you have chorus 1, chorus 2, chorus 3, chorus A, B, C. But let's go in here and let's go to the verse. And then in here, we'll turn the automation on and we'll go back to the track and we'll just bring in this piano slowly and let's see what happens. cool, we got that rise effect. Let's go back and let's go to that first thing, the pluck. Let's see let's do the same thing here. Oh, I might have screwed up. Let's go to main. Oop, I left the automation on. This might screw everything up. So let's go back. If you do that, let's go here again, like we said earlier, and say erase automation. But we only want to release the cutoff. Oops, sorry. So we're going to turn the automation back on, and we're going to keep the cutoff where it was. Let's do just a little bit lower. We don't want to do too low, but we want it kind of low. So we want that feeling of rise, like we want this beat to be growing. Okay, so now let's go to the chorus, but I think we're going to totally switch this up creatively. I have an idea. I've been covering a lot of songs and it made me think a lot about being creative, and I was covering this Hall & Oates song and it was really cool because they had a method that I'm going to be doing something kind of similar. So we're going to go here and we're going to change it from C major up to D major, and that's a slight shift. But let's see what happens, and let's just play around and see how this song flows if we do it this way. So we're going to keep the drums the same, but let's go here. All of this stuff, we're on the hype pluck. Let's erase the pluck. Do it. Now we're just erasing the MIDI information. Do it. We're not erasing everything, but we're seeing the way that we can play around the synthesizer and the way that we can create cool things. So let's go back. Now we're in D major, but let's make the chords a little bit more to make something interesting. Okay, so let's see how this sounds. Sounds pretty cool to me, but let's raise the cut up a lot. Let's go here, make sure these are all in alignment. Some of these don't sound good. Things take time, it's okay. And you can generally see them even from this far out. That one's off. Well, these are off too. So that sounds pretty good to me. So now let's go here. Yeah, I was doing this Hall & Oates song, is that one, I can't go for that, no. And I was putting a lot of auto-tune on my voice, and then so like, I was going from it said it was in C major, and I was going from the verse to the chorus, and then I was like, this sounds awful in the chorus. And it goes from C minor to C major. So I was like, of course this sounds terrible. But we'll see how this sounds. I didn't even record this little record arm. It's important to do that. Let's do it again. sounds fine to me. So let's try this one. Let's go do cut off more. Let's try it. See if any of these are off too. I think this last bass, just listen, sometimes things will be off and it's okay, you can go in and you can fix it. Okay, so now let's listen and let's see how this all flows. That's a kind of a little bit of a creative risk, but that's cool. That's cool. That's why I like having, I have a little circle of fifths down here and it's getting kind of faded. I like it for composing full, switching between songs, but I think whenever I was messing around with popular music, just kind of covering other people's songs, I realized there's a complexity to it. So I thought I'd play around with that. So I think what we can do is, I think what needs to happen is, let's go here into the summer, and the EQ's, the cutoff is really low, but let's go here, let's turn that on, and let's mess with it. It's also the chorus because I wanted to have that idea of being louder, you know? So let's go here. go back to plugin 1. Let's turn the cutoff a little bit up. And then we'll do maybe some delay too. Okay, so I think that sounds cool. We're gonna play it through it once. I'm gonna wrap this video up. Honestly, I've been trying to set up these live streams because I make music every day, and I'm like, it's fun making music, so I might as well live stream it, and that's what I did. So let's go through, let's hear how this little, maybe the root or an origin of a song. Before we do that, always save your project. So 128, and we'll say C, and we'll say live. And I know technically it's also in D major as well in the chorus. And since I've started doing that, there's probably a naming mechanism that I can do to make that easier on myself. Listen to what I do. Listen to what I say, not what I do. So I could just keep building on that. And that's a pretty cool thing about Hype. There's a lot of really great presets and there's a lot of really great effects in it. So if you mess around with the automation, make sure I turn that off. Make sure I save it again. If you mess around with the automation, there's lots of really cool variety that you can create. You can use cutoffs to create rises and things. So I think if you're new to the MPC and you're wondering how to make beats that sound cool and sound really full and large, complete composition, this is a great thing to do. I think the next live stream I'll do, I'll probably focus a little bit more on stretching songs out. I also want to do a song about vocals. I've been messing around. I've been doing these covers, like taking the MIDI and creating covers from classic rock songs. And I've been singing a lot, and it makes me want to sing more, but it makes me aware of there's a lot of complexity to singing, and the MPC, it comes with these vocal effects, but I made myself really self-conscious that I was like, maybe these vocal effects are terrible and aren't good. And so I was looking at plugins that you can put in your computer for recording, and the thing about that I realized is that there's like Antares Autotune, and there's autotunes that are really good and probably a little bit more capable than the one in the MPC. But what I realized, even a lot of the paid ones, what comes in the MPC is really cool. And I know I've even had comments on my videos about wanting to do videos about vocals. Now, it is a little vulnerable to do so, but so I've been practicing a lot to do a video about that. I think in order to do a live stream, I feel like I have to be I can't just be winging it. I got to be a little bit better for y'all out there. So what are we going to do? We're going to try to do a video about singing, and we're going to set up my gear in order to do so. See, my MPC is at 3%. It's got the battery inside of it. That'll be a good way to know that we got to end the song. But yeah, so we went over the hype synthesizer today. There's other synthesizers in the MPC, so if you'd like for me to go over them, please let me know. I would say the hype synthesizer is kind of, sometimes I get bored with it because it's a lot of presets and it has a really specific sound. But I'll listen to music I made 4 years ago and I think it sounds incredible. And I'm like, that's clearly hype. And also, I really like vaporwave, synthwave kind of music. And even just when you looked at the logo, let's go here. Let's go back up. Even when you look here, yeah, just the way that the interface looks itself, it's just so pretty. I love the background, and I like that yeah, look at that MPC. That's way more, that's way less used than mine. Sometimes I get a little self-conscious too about making beats for y'all because of how beat up my MPC looks, but it's like a basketball when I was a kid, you know? You know the kids that were really good at basketball, their basketballs would be all messed up. Even NBA players, they want to use the ball that's been like played with a while. They don't want to use the new one for a little bit. So I try to think about that with my MPC Live too. So I also have on my other videos, we'll see, we'll put a link down below. Still figuring out the live streaming, but if you want to set up a Google Meet with me, the great thing about my internet and having this set up is that it makes it a lot easier for me to do Zoom calls and actually show you things and teach things. I really want to do one-on-one classes with people with MPC, and if you don't have money or nothing like that, just reach out to me too. Let me know. I'd be down to just like consult with you and talk about making beats. I'm also in the process of creating templates, trying to figure out, you know, I'm kind of hard-headed. If you saw with this beat, like I like preset sounds, but when it comes to templates, I don't really mess with templates. I like setting things up. But even with these live streams, I got to set up a template for me where I got to have a little corner in my condo where I can just basically have everything already set up, all the cameras set up and everything, to where it just makes this live streaming a lot easier and working smarter, not harder. But yeah, I want to bring you more stuff. I'm inspired by some people on here that do live streams with their MPCs every day too. So want to do some collaborative content with them, reaching out to people. But yeah, I think that is everything for the day. Thank y'all so much for checking this out. And you know, I got way more content